Welcome, friends, to our closing ceremonies. For a short thank you message, let's welcome on stage Earoph International Deputy President Edric Marco C. Florentino.
To our Earoph President Mia Davidson, to our Earoph Secretary General Tiri, to our Earoph Philippine President Ana Mangalinoling, to our incoming Earoph President Honorable Yolanda D. Reyes, to all the dignitaries and honorable of various government offices and agencies attending in this event, to all Earoph members and non-members all over the world, to all the officers and members of various professional and non-professional organizations all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, mabuhay. To all foreign delegations, the word mabuhay is a famous Filipino greetings which means long live. And now, getting to the assignment that was tasked upon me, well, to tell you frankly, giving a thank you message in 5 minutes is a challenging one because of the numerous list of people and organizations taking part of this event. And if I miss anyone, please forgive me. You know, thank you is an expression of gratitude and gestures of those people or organizations who unwaveringly gave their valuable time, talents, and treasure. In Tagalog, I would like to say, maraming salamat, which means thank you very much. As Earoph Deputy President, it is such an honor and a great pleasure for me for serving our very active and beautiful Earoph President Mia Davidson, as well as our Industrious Secretary General. I thank you for all the trust and support you have extended to me as Earoph Deputy President for calendar year 2019 and 2020. Mabuhay kayong dalawa, which means long live to both of you. And I wish to thank all the delegations all over the world in attending and supporting this magnificent event, especially our speaker, to our industrious partners, and all who took part in this momentous occasion or event, I should say, conducting it virtually. This World Congress would not be complete without thanking the officers and members of Earoph Philippines, led by our very energetic Earoph Philippines President, Architect, Environmental Planner, Ana Mangalinoling, in spearheading and hosting in this very first virtual 2020 World Congress and Exco and a council meeting, doing it virtually. Imagine, from an originally well-advanced planned physical event to what we are having now, a virtual event, is in just a matter of few months. I tell you, these guys were able to deliver this World Congress to us. Having said that, I would like to take this great opportunity to make special mention to our indefatigable men and women of our World Congress Organizing Committee for doing a magnificent job and making sure that this event would be a success. Of course, this is being led by our beautiful, lovely, hardworking convener, architect, interior designer, Marian Aileen Star Florentino Marudo. Truly, I tell you, living up to her name as Star, if I may say so. May I now invite you to give them a humongous round of applause and a big thumbs up to those who really did a magnificent job here in this event. And lastly, which is the most important of all, I wish to thank God for all the beautiful gift of life and the gift of service He has extended to all of us. This is the reason why all here and all of us are enjoying this privilege. And allow me to congratulate the incoming Earoph International President, Honorable Commissioner Yolanda D. Reyes, for being the first Filipino to have that prestigious position as President of Earoph. Mabuhay ka, Madam President. And of course, to all of us, mabuhay tayong lahat. At maraming salamat sa inyong lahat sa pagdalo dito sa ating Congress.
For her valedictory speech, round of applause please for Earoph International President, live from Australia, Mia Davison.
Well, good afternoon to all of you. Good morning, or indeed good evening, wherever you are in the world. Distinguished guests, fellow members of Earoph, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be with you on this day live from Melbourne. And it is our very first virtual Congress. Can I just say how awesome and how impressive has this been for our first virtual live Congress for Earoph? I mean, to be able to participate from your own home when, you know, we've all been in lockdown and, you know, we can't see our family and friends. It's just such a wonderful treat and a breath of fresh air to be able to connect with all of you overseas and to share our knowledge and experience. I do really miss seeing everybody. I miss tasting all your local foods and getting to experience your local culture. But I know that it's for the best at the moment that we do all stay safe. So just want to thank you all for that. I'd like to say some thank yous. So the Philippines chapter, led by President Ana Molina Ling, and also to conference convener Star Florentino Marudo, and also all of the officers as part of the Earoph Philippines board who have come together to create this virtual event. Also to your incoming president, Philippines President Beth Regala, who I'm sure you have all welcomed her to be your leader for 2020. Very much well wishes to all of you. So the Philippines chapter have continued to pursue holding this World Congress in the state of affairs that we do have. Well done on persevering for this Congress during these challenging times. I admire your resilience, your flexibility, and your innovation in your ability to adapt to such a changing environment we face. And so I'm so pleased and excited to let everybody know that for our regional conference next year, it will be held in the Philippines in person. Fingers crossed that that is going to happen. And I really look forward to our 100 Island tour and also visiting your rice fields. It was an area dear to my heart that I really want to go and visit and, of course, see everybody as well. I'd also like to show my appreciation to our Congress sponsors and event partners, Boyson, Wilcon, Luzuli, Emerald, NAMPAP, the Professional Regulation Commission, and also Davies Paints. And of course, a big thank you to all our speakers who have made the time and effort to put in for this first Virtual World Congress. Please join me in thanking Earoph Philippines, sponsors and event partners and speakers, and of course, all of our Earoph members for coming to this virtual event. So this has been a wonderful event, not just because of all of the inspiring speakers, but because of all the interaction I've seen online. I have to say, this is probably one of the busiest chat rooms I've seen on a virtual event I've been involved in lately. I just love all the enthusiastic and passionate comments that people have been giving and sharing with each other. Because Earoph is a family. We're a family of like-minded people, and we like to share. We come from a place where we share our values and our wishes for the world, that it can be a better place and that we can all make a difference. We had so many great ideas. I've heard so many great ideas that have floated around the virtual world in the last 2 days. We are in a pandemic, and we know that, you know, things have changed. Our cities have changed and our places have changed. We realise that the spaces around us are so important. I've never seen so many people using our little local parks as much as I have this year. That these spaces are precious spaces. They're not for development. They are for people. They're for enjoyment, and we need to make sure that we don't overthink things and make sure that we do preserve our public spaces for the people. As we talked about yesterday with the design of cities and this concept of Ebenezer Howard and the Garden City movement, well, can I tell you that Earoph actually was originally part of the International Federation for Housing and Planning, which was actually introduced by Ebenezer Howard. So please think that today, with these challenges that we face, we are actually part of an organisation that Ebenezer Howard created. He wanted us to exchange ideas and knowledge and to share these new innovations with each other. So I feel blessed that we are all part of this Earoph family and indeed still part of IFHP, of which we can take many of these ideas forward. I was inspired yesterday also by hearing about the fact that we want to give back to humanity. In our own professional worlds, there is so much more that we can do. We can do more than just the status quo. We can stretch the boundaries, and we can indeed look at everything in more than one box, as we also heard today. The climate catastrophe, shall we say, is upon us, and now is the time to act. We can't continue to talk about these matters, and as we have heard from many other forums of late, international forums, it is a time of action. So I think that we will take on board many of these ideas that we have heard today about lessening our footprint, about contributing, about creating a new contract with the world and the survival of the planet, and let's be responsible. So as many of you are aware, my time as your international president has sadly come to an end, and it's a time that I began this role since we held our last Congress in Newcastle in Australia, and it's been a somewhat exciting, challenging and, well, shall I say, unpredictable time all at once. I take this opportunity to thank our international office, Deputy President Dinky Edric Florentino, an immediate past president of Earoph Philippines, who has been such an excitable person to work with, but I just love everything that you contribute along the way, and I will like to continue working with you. And also to our esteemed Secretary General, Thierry, I don't know whether I'll pronounce your surname, but I'll give it a go, Shenmagazorduram or something like that. Apologies, Thierry. Thank you for all of your help with the international work. And also to our Executive Secretary, Noriani Noor, for all of your help in getting us set up. I would also like to thank Earoph Australia, who have supported me during the last 2 years, to our President of Earoph Australia, Dr. Jane Stanley, and also to Dennis, Clinton, Jaime, Alicia, Kerry, Pete, and Christina. Without all of you, I don't know where I'd be, because I just love hearing all of your ideas when we catch up regularly. So my role as president began in the end of 2018 and into 2019, where we had a meeting of minds above the Taal volcano in the Philippines. We went on a trek up the volcano and then got together at a lovely place just above to admire and to do some big picture thinking. And I'm so sorry to hear about everything that has happened since, and I wish to express my condolences to those that have lost their lives, including the animals as well. So my highlights from being your international president, just very quickly, include representing Earoph at the People's Forum and the Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development in Bangkok, Thailand last year, where I got to meet a variety of very interesting people. And I got to tour around Bangkok and got to know their livability project. I also met someone, I'll just take it, someone really interesting who saw a lot of hope in Earoph and actually wanted me to come to Bangladesh to help save the tiger. I unfortunately was unable to go, but I still feel that there is a lot that we can do. You know, we are more than human settlements. We are about the environment as well, and that's just an example of our reach to other people around the world. I also was involved in many stakeholder events last year, including the Pacific Urban Forum and the Asia Pacific Urban Forum. So the Pacific Urban Forum in Fiji, we created a new Pacific chapter, a number of people and islands have now joined Earoph, and we also have joined a partnership with the Commonwealth Local Government Forum, UNSCAP and UN Habitat and the New Zealand Planning Institute to drive forward the new urban agenda and the SDGs in the Pacific. At the Asia Pacific Forum, we welcomed our Earoph Pakistan country to Earoph. And Earoph Pakistan has been so active ever since you have joined. And we are so excited that you have brought many ideas to Earoph, and we look forward to working closer with you in years to come. I also represented Earoph with others at the World Urban Forum in February this year, and I actually feel blessed that I could actually be there in person. And coming from the World Urban Forum and Asia Pacific Forum, I am pleased to tell you all that we were given permission to join the very exclusive Penang platform of partners who are here to drive forward action and change in the Asia Pacific region. And I have already been actively participating in the development of new guidelines to conduct voluntary local reviews across Asia Pacific. These guidelines will be piloted across a number of cities, and they will be launched soon. So please stay tuned, and I hope that you get involved. So Earoph isn't all about events. It's also about the creation of knowledge and the building of capacity. And so during my time as Earoph President, I'm thankful to have been able to establish our subcommittees and to establish a capacity building and training program that will cover aspects of the Sustainable Development Goals, including local economic development, climate change and resilience. It will cover things such as building better partnerships, and we know that there's a lot of interest also in us running events on training to do with waste management. At Earoph, we make a difference because we are not just looking at it from one view. We are a multidisciplinary organisation. We understand as practitioners what it takes to deliver something on the ground, and we are indeed about action. We are not about the rhetoric and the theory, although that's of interest. We are here to guide everybody and help do this in a proactive way. Above all, I feel so honoured and privileged to have met so many wonderful people in my time. And while I may no longer be your international president, I will continue to work with you. So now I must hand the reins over to the Philippines. It's therefore my pleasure to welcome your incoming president, the Honourable Yolanda de Reyes. Your credentials as a commissioner and your background, your credentials are absolutely outstanding, and I know that Earoph is in safe hands. I wish you well on your voyage and remind you of your Earoph family spirit. Whatever the challenges you face, just know that we are all here to support you together. And I also, on that note, wish to send my blessings to everybody here today and our wider members and network. I hope that you are staying safe and healthy. And as I said, when I came into this role, one of my key priorities was around health and happiness. So I do hope that you are happy and you do find ways to find happiness in your lives at this time. And that will be a priority of mine going forward. So thank you very much. Incoming President Honourable Yolanda de Reyes, I hereby transfer the International Presidency to you. Thank you and best of luck.
Every 2 years, an Earoph member country turns over the presidency to another member country. And today, we will be witnessing one of the momentous events in the history of Earoph International, where Earoph Australia will be turning over the flag as a symbol of leadership to Earoph Philippines. Congratulations to Earoph Australia and best wishes and support to Earoph Philippines.
Thank you, Australia. Thank you, Earoph.
And now, for her inaugural speech, let us all give a big round of applause for Yolanda David Reyes.
To the officers and members of Earoph International, led by its very able President Mia Davison, together with the Deputy International President Dinky Florentino, and Thierry from Malaysia as the Secretary General. I would like to greet also the Earoph Philippines officers and members led by the indefatigable Ana Mangalinoling, and of course the Professional Regulation Commission led by our chairman, Attorney Teofilo Pilando Jr., together with my co-commissioner Jose Cueto Jr., all the board's chairmen and members of the regulatory boards of PRC, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I am indeed very delighted to join you on this very special gathering. I am beyond honor and privileged for having been elected as international president to lead this very prestigious global organization. This appointment to the office is especially humbling to me, knowing that the fact that most the Earoph leaders and international presidents before me were movers and shakers in their own respective countries as high-level government officials. I remember when we attended the Earoph Congress in Australia in the mid-90s. The international president at that time held a minister position. My predecessor, Mia Davison, is now holding a high government official position in Victoria's Department of Environment, Land and Water. I am indeed very humbled as I am extremely motivated to come out from the cast of their big shadows and take the helm of the organizations they once lead. It comforts me to know that my colleagues in Earoph must have placed a high degree of confidence and trust in me to put me in this position. I must admit at first I was hesitant. Then I got excited and elated and became very eager to lead. And later, it dawned me as I look upon my colleagues, the likes of Anna, Dinky, Beth, Robert, and the others in the Philippine section. Then I thought, hey, any one of them could do this. They can do what I can do. They can even probably do it better. But as fate may have put it, I am now here in front of you. I can only count on the promises and support of my esteemed colleagues in Earoph Philippines. In the same vein that they have supported me in the past international leaderships. I must say, I depend on them a lot. We are like one for all and all for one. We are a family. When we talk about Earoph, especially in the mid-90s and towards the turn of the century, the likes of John Ko of Malaysia and Josie Ramos of the Philippines would come to mind. I would equate them to Earoph. They, to me, are the faces of Earoph. They are Earoph. John, of course, guided this organization all throughout these years. And our idol, the chairperson, the current chairperson of the Professional Regulatory Board of Environmental Planning in the Professional Regulation Commission, where I happen to sit as one of the commissioners, would single-handedly usher the Philippine section to and for active participation in Earoph's international events. She was very empowering, as she was very convincing. When she would invite us to attend international Earoph congresses, any event in the region, if we have the time and we can make it, we would of course say, yes, let's go. It's very hard to say no to Madam Josie. Thus, I would like to thank and commend Madam Josefina Ramos for introducing me to Earoph. She is such a selfless, patriotic individual who only thought of what is best for our country and would specially make sure that the Philippines secures a spot in the international fora and organizations such as Earoph. Earoph, or the Eastern Regional Organization for Planning and Human Settlements, is composed of highly trained and committed professionals who address a holistic approach in the development of communities, towns, cities, and even megacities. It reminds me of Constantine Doxiades' content and container. Container being the environment, the community, the cities, or Mother Earth. The content being the people as human beings, living, thriving within the container. So, it is not just physical planning that should be the concern of the content, but the social, educational, health, and economic concerns within the container. Or simply put, us towards communities and societies. Admittedly, this year, 2020, has thrown the world into a curve. The unseen enemy has changed the global landscape as we knew it, and with it unleashed a crisis never been experienced throughout the history. It challenged each and every government institution. We found ourselves held hostage as human lives continue to be taken, our economies continue to weaken, and our social order continue to be destroyed. Indeed, this pandemic brought us at a crossroads. How our respective governments and we as subjects respond to this challenge will define our collective future. Needless to say, Earoph is put to a spin and likewise met with the same challenges. Thus, we as a non-government, multi-sectoral organization, which studies and promote the provision of better quality life, housing, and planning in Asia, Australia, and the Pacific region, need to step up to the plate in the light of our present realities, all while remaining true and faithful to our vision and mission. As we influence the way in which our built environment is made, used, furnished, landscaped, and maintained, as we play a vital role in the transformation of cities through our capacity to meet the challenges of the world, urban sustainability, and develop the tools needed to create resilient and sustainable livable cities. And as we raise awareness on our urban agenda for planning and human settlements and other issues relating to them, such as the creation of age-friendly cities, addressing climate change, to natural and man-made disaster mitigation and risk management, and most especially this global health and pandemic concern. What could be our recovery programs? We have to come up with recovery programs and frameworks. I foresee the coming year of Earoph as inclusive. bringing together a group of technical professionals to collaborate and provide hands-on knowledge, resources, and tools that us professionals need to fully embrace the future. We will be a united and highly connected group of multidisciplinary professionals coming together for a total and holistic attainment of a sustainable, healthy, socially responsive community we all dream of for all our societies. That's why I'm thinking of a slogan for us: collaboration plus commitment equals results. Our programs for next year includes the empowering of our smallest unit sales leaders. Those from the barrios, from the counties, will be trained to become real community leaders. So I would see psychologists, social workers, guidance counselors, professional teachers, Earoph members to be giving talks and case studies to orient and reorient the vision of the youth and the dreams of parents, the architects, the engineers, the interior designers, the environmental planners, the landscape architects, and all the other built environment professionals getting to and offering planning initiatives to the town folks. The health professionals, such as the doctors, the nurses, the midwives, the radiologists, the occupational therapists, lecturing and guiding the people on healthcare and prevention programs. Business professionals, such as the accountants, helping and guiding as we navigate and revive our economies. This will also include the real estate brokers, the real estate service sector. And we have also invited agriculturists, foresters, fisheries experts, chemists to join and become members of Earoph Philippines and for them to contribute their expertise. We have here, of course, librarians as well as professional teachers. They are very, very empowering and very strong, especially when it comes to our social responsibility will be harnessed alongside our practice. It is said that at the heart of every professional is the notion of service to humanity. Then we as Earoph professionals place our considerable gifts at the service of our communities and our countries, where each and every one of us can make a difference. Just as we are united in fighting COVID-19, we will also attend to our environment. Climate change has doubled the ravaging effect of this pandemic. Thus, Earoph will make good of its community to help in the fight against climate change. We will work to empower and strengthen communities to have a deep regard to the environment and develop our people's preparedness and resilience. Earoph will actively perform its role as a prime motivation of our professionals to further enhance and boost their qualifications. It will be asserting its leadership as an extensive networking platform for its members. We are planning for a regional face-to-face conference next year. We hope that there will be no more restrictions and that movement and travels will be allowed, because we want our organizers have really prepared for this World Congress, face-to-face World Congress, but unfortunately we're now faced with this predicament, and we could not do other thing but do it on a virtual platform. So I hope we will all be there next year. Again, assuming that no restrictions are there. And we're also planning for several webinars throughout the year, throughout next year. Our environmental planning group are the ones heading this. And the topics would range from health, technology, social work, environmental concerns, and well, among others. There's so many topics that we can do, and if it's online, it's so easy. We can really do it even in the, of course, in the international arena. We will uphold and pursue excellence in this organization and attempt to strengthen the membership of Earoph by inviting more of our colleagues in the region. I can see that Pakistan is here. Jahangir is already leading that. And so we will also try to invite our colleagues there in that region. And with your help and cooperation, we will lay down the roadmap of our plans to achieve all the greatness that our Creator has put us in this time for this organization to achieve. I sincerely believe that Earoph will be the instrument to fan the fires of professionalism amongst us in order to achieve the things beyond what we already have accomplished and what more we can dream of today. Of course, we do it not for ourselves, but for our communities and for our brethren. Of course, with the end in view of the glorifying support and guidance of our good Lord. I must admit, I cannot do these goals of Earoph alone. No one person can do this alone. So a goal such as this stands before us in this organization and calls for the members to unleash their individual and collective creative energies, grasp hands, and push forth into the unknown with vigor and teamwork. As I have always said, we are each other's harvest, we are each other's business, we are each other's magnitude and bond. Only when we are together that we can really attain the elusive and intrinsic reward of being part of this great endeavor. So join me in this journey as we achieve a most worthy objective of our organization. Yes, it will be daunting, but I assure you it would be a glorious journey for all of us. And I will be so honored and proud to be along with you in this ride. With God's divine provisions, all of Earoph's vision for our communities and for our members will come, and our goals and missions will be achieved. I would like to thank everybody for being there, and especially our government, the Department of Foreign Affairs, and our Professional Regulation Commission, the chairman, Attorney Teofilo Filando, my co-commissioner, Dr. Jose Y. Cueto, and of course, all the Professional Regulatory Board, the chairman and members who have signed in to be part of this endeavor. I thank you. I cannot thank you enough, but I would like to see more of us together working for the goals of Earoph. Mabuhay ang Earoph, mabuhay tayong lahat. Good day to everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, to formally close this year's Earoph World Congress, let us all give it up for Marian Eileen Star Florentino Marudo.
It has now come to this point of the event to officially close this gathering. I hope that all has been shared here will not just be lessons and best practices learned, but those that can be translated into programs and actions as steps towards improving our communities. We hope that you continue to support Earoph in its endeavors, however small they may be, where and however they may come. Let me thank all the organizing committee members who were with me in those sleepless nights, weekly, daily, hourly meetings, who have worked hard along with the Earoph Philippines Board and international officers, the PRC, and our sponsors in making this event possible. And all of you who attended, I hope were inspired. For now, I close this event, but let's see each other again sometime soon. Until next time.